and we're going to talk about the World Series here. Let's go full screen on this, Eugene, so that the
Okay.
crowd, so the people can see. So when we're looking here, and if I'm one of these teams, first and foremost, because we're going to talk about the baseball ratings and why they suck so much, I would not care at all. If you're the Rangers or the Diamondbacks, you came into the year hoping to do something and you achieved what you hope to do, at least from the Rangers standpoint. You came in and you got to the World Series. Here's the problem, at least I think from an outside looking in. And I was on another show when the World Series, when the Dodgers and the Braves, because our hometown Braves, which were a very, very tragic moment for us.
Right.
When they got eliminated, I remember talking to the guys and telling them, "Hey guys, I tell you who's not going to be happy is the executives over at Fox, man. Like whoever's airing this World Series cannot be excited about what just happened here.
No.
As the favorite, your 100-win teams getting eliminated in like the first round. Do you blame this more on the wild? Because they had the wild card over the last couple of years, and first, a lot of your teams are getting buys now. Your first round buys. Do you think that's playing a part
I,
in
I don't.
why we get teams that weren't necessarily on the radar throughout the year?
No, I mean, just with baseball, it's so different. It's not like in football and basketball. Like we can look at the top teams and go, "Well, these top teams should win." It's it's baseball. It's really comes down to that last month. This last month, and who's the hottest team, and those were the hottest. Like if you looked at Arizona, if you looked at Philadelphia, I mean, don't be wrong. We won over 100 games as the Braves, and so did the Dodgers. But if you looked at the last month, there was teams that it looked kind of like a struggle. And yes, you think the first round bye should fix that, but yeah, baseball is just so weird. It's just been so unpredictable over the years. I can't. I just can't. I don't know. I can't blame it on that. But yeah, I mean, I heard a great answer for it, and I do like this response. Is hey, since the wild card is played, where the higher seed has you don't leave their ballpark. Maybe do that for the division series as well. So in the division series, you have to go to the higher seed team, and you don't get to go home. You play all the games, and if you win, kudos to you. So yeah, I mean, what do you think? I mean, I did like the video you sent me, and it was like, oh well, over time it should correct itself. But you're right. Fox cannot be happy about what transpired in all this.
Yeah, well, hopefully they sign that multi-year deal and it's not something they have to do. And the video you're referring to is Are the MLB Playoffs Broken? It's on YouTube. It is on a channel called Baseball Doesn't Exist. And one of the things they were discussing is just the new wild card format in that video. And it's an excellent video, breaks down statistics. I wish we could just air the entire video here, Eugene, and
Yeah,
just talk through it because it's
just
just an
talk through it.
amazing video.
Mhm.
But it's I don't want to just blame the wild card and say that that's because it's such a small sample size. We're only
Right.
a year into that, so we really got to get more from a statistical perspective to know if that's really just having an impact. But I will tell you, the series, the ratings is a little bit easier for me to tackle, and that's only because Eugene, we don't. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but these teams just aren't as popular. They're just not
No,
as popular teams, right?
no.
So if you, I mean, shout out to teams like the Diamondbacks, and shout out to the not having to watch the Yankees and some of these big market teams every single year as it has been in certain uh, past history. I was surprised that the Astros weren't there. I kind of suspected them to be there. Um, so that was a little surprising. The Rangers, not so surprising with the Rangers, because they weren't a bad team. The Rangers are a
No.
bad, and the Diamondbacks. I'm not saying the Diamondbacks are a bad team, but they were more under the radar for me personally than the Rangers were. Once the Rangers got down to it, it was an easy pick to make. But I still can't say I was watching this, man. I didn't watch very many games of this, man. This got relegated to the background situation at
Yeah.
times, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Um, but not very just not very excited. man, to watch the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. And shout out to the Rangers for getting over the hump. And then, like I said, these guys, why do they have to care, right? You're playing the games. You're happy that you're in the game. Who cares if anybody's watching the game? Some of these games, even attendance-wise, were abysmal, like attendance records for some of these games. And not necessarily talking about the World Series games themselves, but some of the games leading up to the World Series, some of those games in the wild card rounds had extremely low attendance levels, and some of these ratings were getting beat by programming that you wouldn't typically expect. Now, the good thing about the World Series in general, and then it may be the lowest rated World Series, but as the New York Times article does point out, they still did better than most things on television. The next highest thing on TV gets about 5 million. You got about 5 million viewers or so. So you're still handily beating that, right? It's just that I don't want to call it a disappointment, but it just was not exciting. Let's just say that.
Right.
Because, you do have two fan bases who I'm sure were heavily excited to see their teams in the big game. It just seems like a lot of other people were not. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, if you let's just say you switch one of those teams, let's just say Texas versus Philadelphia, then your ratings are completely different, right? But yeah, and like you said, I watched the first game because I mean it had some exciting moments. You had like the first walk-off home run that's like with Gibson since 35 years. I mean it was
Wow.
Yeah, you had those kind of
Gibson.
Yeah, you had those
Wow.
historic moments, but that's where it kind of ended after that first game because then you saw kind of like, okay, well, Texas had the better team, Texas had the higher payroll, and that's where that's where the pecking order kind of changed, and like you said, I was definitely happy for both those teams getting in. I wasn't like I'm not mad. Here's the thing. I'm not mad if any other team gets in by the Braves because the Braves have won enough championships in my lifetime. I'm okay.
Right. And we were just got a chip, about 2 years ago?
2 years ago. I am good. I am fine. We're gonna have a good team for like the next 10 years. We're gonna be in that conversation. I'm okay with that. But how you fix this moving forward, I mean, that's the thing. If the ratings start going in this direction, then you're going to see a change. But one of the things they need to fix is like on Sundays, you and I can watch football at any format. I don't care how old you are,
Right.
how young you are, right? You can watch it on YouTube. You can find it on a local channel. You can find it anywhere. I mean, even on Thursday night, I'd say a lot of the country have Amazon Prime. You can watch that show on Amazon.
And a lot of those re-air on the NFL Network afterwards also.
Right.
If you don't happen to miss it on Prime, you can catch that rerun on the NFL Network.
Right. So the issue was there were some playoff games played on TBS, which is a channel. I mean, a cable channel, which not everyone has. So you're putting your product on at the most important time where people can't view it. And that's fine. If you want to do that regionally during the season, that's fine. It's 162 games. No one cares. But if you're trying to do this and during the playoffs, you need to have that on every channel. You need to make sure like everybody should be able to have access to it, And football has done a great job with that. The NBA has done a great job with that. It's like baseball. That's the one thing I did critique. It's like some nights I was like, I would legit have to find out where's the game on. Where am I looking?
Wow.
Am I watching TBS? Am I watching Fox Sports South? Not everyone has those channels. Why? Those playoffs should be on everywhere. Okay, if it's on Fox Sports South, you should put it on Fox. If it's on TBS, TBS should I don't know. Do an agreement.
I love Turner Broadcasting, man, as an Atlanta native, but
yeah, right. But if you're trying to grow the brand, grow, yeah. So that would be my only critique. It's like grow it for everyone to view it. Football has figured that out like so many years ago. It's like that's been my only with baseball. It's like it's so hard to find games sometimes. It's like make it easy for people to watch it.